Have you ever found yourself daydreaming about winning the lottery, hitting it big in Vegas, or fantasizing about getting 3 wishes from a genie? Well, I do, but I would soon learn, be very careful what you wish for. I find myself daydreaming about a lot of things lately. My 30th birthday is coming up in a week, and I still live with my parents, Bob and Linda. Well, technically just Linda. Dad was a trucker and got into a really bad accident, and well, he's been gone for a few years now. It was hard on Mom and I, and part of the reason why I never moved out. Anyway, I have a job at the local grocery store down on 5th Street, and help out with bills and food costs, but otherwise, I have accomplished a whole lot of nothing in my life so far. I have my high school diploma, but so does Chad, the 19-year-old cart pusher who also works at Gene's Grocers. Unlike me, Chad was doing something with his life. His first college classes start in a few days, and by all accounts, he has a bright future ahead of him. That kid seems to have all the luck in the world. Tall, good-looking, high school football star, college scholarship, and even the 25-year-old hottie Kelly seems to be interested in the kid. As for me, I had a feeling my luck was going to change, and hopefully soon. "Happy birthday, Tom," Kelly said as my shift ended. I waved back, "Thanks, Kelly," and walked to my car in the parking lot. Kelly started working here about a year ago. We seemed to hit it off immediately. We took breaks together, hung out after work, chatting in the parking lot. She even brought me water when I was on shopping cart duty. After about 6 months, as the kids say, shot my shot. I asked her out, and she looked at me stunned. She whispered, "Like, on a date?" "Yeah, like on a date. What do you think?" Well, she friend-zoned me so fast it made my head spin. Anyway, I had to work on my birthday. What a bummer, but at least my shift was over. I got to my house and unlocked the front door and stepped inside. "Tommy, there's an Amazon package for you on the table," said my mother, Linda. "Okay, thanks." Strange, I didn't order anything from Amazon. A birthday present, maybe? But who would send me a gift? I walked into the kitchen, and Linda greeted me, "Happy birthday, baby boy," and gave me a big hug. Uh, thanks, Ma. I glanced over at the package on the counter. "Ma, do you have any idea who sent the package? I didn't order anything." "I have no idea, dear. Why don't you take it to your room and get changed out of your work clothes? I'm making your favorite for dinner, spaghetti and meatballs." Ugh, I didn't have the heart to tell her, but spaghetti and meatballs stopped being my favorite about 15 years ago. "Alright, Ma, I'll be back in a bit." I grabbed the package off the counter and held it up to my ear and gave it a little shake. Yep, not a clue what this is. I shuffled down the basement stairs to my little room and tossed the package on my bed, kicked off my shoes, and sat down at my desk chair. My room was about 15 feet by 15 feet, not counting the closet and bathroom. It wasn't a big space, but at least I had privacy. Changed out of my khakis and polo and slipped on some basketball shorts and a t-shirt. I looked over at the Amazon package. It wasn't very big, about the size of a shoebox, and I still had no clue who sent it. I pulled some scissors out of my desk drawer and carefully cut the tape on the box. I set the scissors to the side and slowly opened it and peered inside. Okay, well, this made even less sense. As I pulled out the jet black lamp adorned with red gems, it reminded me of a prop from a movie. My first thought was, well, disappointment. What the hell am I going to do with this thing? I started to put it back in the box, but for whatever silly reason, I decided to rub the lamp as if I was in some stereotypical genie movie. What happened next? Well, I'm still trying to understand it myself, but steam or mist, smoke maybe, started coming out of the lamp. I tossed the lamp on the bed and leaned back in my chair. What the hell? The vapor came out for about 10 seconds, and to my surprise, the mist took shape. First, I saw the feet, then legs, torso, arms, and head. There she was, laying on my bed. Her skin was a beautiful olive complexion, and her outfit looked like something you'd see a belly dancer wear. Her face, well, I could only see her eyes because she had a veil that covered her nose and mouth. Hello? Hi, Tom, she said as she propped herself up in a rather seductive pose. How do you know my name? That was about the time our eyes met. Her eyes were like nothing I had ever seen before. Her irises were red, dark red. If I could compare them to anything, it would be similar to the eyes a vampire would have in a classic horror film. Tom, relax. I am an all-powerful genie, she said, and raised her eyebrows. I shook my head. Wait a minute. Okay, alright, good one. I don't know how you did the whole smoke magic trick, and I may not have gone to college, but I'm not an idiot. It's been a long day. You can grab your little lamp and go. The show's over. The genie didn't say a word. She put one finger over her lips. Shh. I was about to protest further when I realized I was unable to speak. Tom, come have a seat, the genie said as she patted the space next to her on the bed. Suddenly, I started moving to the spot, my body seemingly moving on its own. What the hell is this? I wondered. Tom, I'm going to give you one wish, but I want you to think about it for a moment, she said. I sat next to her, my mind racing. Wish? Genie? Maybe this is some weird dream. Maybe I got in a car accident on my way home and I'm in a coma. None of this makes sense. Tom. Her voice broke my internal rambling. This is not a dream. Just think about the wish. Fine, I'll play along. Money? Superpowers? In the movies, they always get 3 wishes. Focus, Tom. Okay. What would help me get out of my parents' basement and live the life of my dreams? I got it. I turned to the genie. Have you decided, Tom? She said, as she cocked her head to the side playfully. Yes, I think so. I want to see the future. I figured if I know the future, I could bet on football games, go to Vegas, win all kinds of money, and not only that, I could avoid all kinds of trouble and embarrassing rejection. Tom, are you sure that seeing the future is your wish? I thought for a moment and nodded. Yes, seeing the future is my wish. The genie slowly raised her hand and snapped her fingers. In that instant, all hell broke loose. Thick black smoke started billowing out of the lamp on the bed. My eyes started burning as if they were on fire, and my ears started ringing. Oh God, the ringing was so loud. That was about the time the screaming started. My screaming. Tommy? And then it all stopped. What's going on down there? Are you okay? I was in the fetal position on my bed. I opened my eyes and looked around the room. No smoke, no genie, no lamp. Hell, even the Amazon package was gone. What was all that screaming about? Oh, sorry, Ma. I, stubbed my toe on the bed. Okay, well, dinner will be ready soon. Okay, thanks, Ma. I walked over to my tiny bathroom, flicked on the light switch, and turned on the faucet. I splashed some cold water on my face and looked at myself in the mirror. Everything seemed normal. Well, normal for me. Yep, my salt and pepper hair, accompanied by my receding hairline, was still there. It was my 30th birthday, but you sure couldn't tell from my hairline. Thanks to it, I didn't look a day over 45. Ugh. I clambered up the basement stairs to the spaghetti and meatball dinner Ma had made. She slid a full plate in front of me. "Enjoy, sweetheart," she said. She took the seat directly across from me. I looked up at her. "Thanks, Ma." That's when I saw it. A timer directly above her head. 5 years, 3 months, 14 days, 12 hours, and 2 minutes. I rubbed my eyes and looked again. Yep, the timer was still there, but instead of it ending with 2 minutes, it showed 1 minute. What the hell is going on? "Tommy, is everything alright?" "Ma, that package from earlier, did you see who dropped it off?" She looked at me puzzled. "What package?" "The Amazon package. When I got home, you said it was on the counter." "Tommy, are you feeling okay, dear?" she said. "You were screaming down in your room, and now you're talking about some package I supposedly told you about, but I have no idea what in the world you're going on about. Are you getting enough rest? Maybe you need to turn in early tonight and take it easy for a while before you give yourself a panic attack." Ugh, I hated being treated like a child. I slid my chair back, looked at Ma, and said, "You know what? Maybe you're right." And I turned and walked down the basement steps. I didn't have the heart to yell at her, and maybe turning 30 was getting to me. I plopped down on my bed and crawled under my covers. I turned off my bedside lamp and laid in the dark and thought, who sent the package? And what was that timer over Ma's head? I had a feeling I knew what the timer was, but didn't want to assume it was counting down to, well, the end, if you catch my drift. The first half of the next day at Jean's Grocers was pretty uneventful, except over Chad's head was a timer like Ma's. Maybe he wasn't so lucky after all. 2 years, 3 months, 14 days, and 2 minutes. Yikes. If the timer is counting down to the end, I wondered what was going to happen to the guy. Later that afternoon, I was stocking some corn on the canned goods aisle, and I heard her voice. "Have a nice day, sir." Kelly was at the register. She worked part-time from noon to 5 p.m. I had finished stocking the shelves and pushed the shopping cart I had used to unload all the cans back to the front of the store. "Did you have a good birthday?" she asked. I turned to Kelly. "Yeah, I had, Are you okay, Tom?" I stared at it. 1 hour, 52 minutes above Kelly's head. I shook my head. "Sorry, Kelly. Yeah, my birthday was all right. Thanks for asking." I rushed to the back of the store and into the stockroom. I took a look at my watch. If the timer was correct, Kelly was gonna meet her end at 5:15 p.m. I thought for a moment. Okay, maybe I can stop this. Sure, the girl rejected me, but I didn't want her dead. I thought for a few minutes. Okay, well, if she doesn't have a heart attack or a brain aneurysm or something, the most likely thing is a car accident. Maybe if I just stall her for 15 minutes after her shift, the timer will change. 5 p.m. rolled around, and I saw Kelly packing up her stuff in the back break room. "Hey, Kelly, before you take off, do you mind helping me break down a few boxes and toss them into the compactor? I could really use your help." 15 minutes hovered above her head. Sure, I can spare a few minutes." Oh, thank God. We walked to the back of the stockroom, where we piled up the boxes from all the goods we stocked in the store, and I said, Okay, I'll just cut the boxes apart with the box cutter, and you just toss them in the compactor and hit the button to smash them down. But be careful, the safety door is busted, so don't get your hand caught or anything. 10 minutes went by, and the timer was still counting down. Crap, maybe it will be a heart attack or something. I handed Kelly the last few boxes. 1 minute hovered above her head. Oh God, I couldn't watch. That's when I heard Kelly say, "Oh shit." She had dropped her phone in the compactor. She had climbed up, dangling half her body into the compactor, trying to reach the phone, her tiny feet flailing in the air. Then it happened. Her foot hit the button. I just stood there, frozen in fear. I don't know if you've ever heard the sound of an elephant squishing a watermelon, or the sounds of sticks being broken, but along with the screams were the sounds of her bones snapping and then a squish. I finally snapped out of it and ran over to the compactor and hit the emergency stop button, but it was much too late. I looked down at my shoes as the dark red blood oozed out of the bottom of the compactor and onto the floor all around me. My mouth watered. I'm gonna be sick. I ran out the back loading door and vomited in the rear parking lot. When the cops arrived, they wrapped me in a blanket and took my statement. Since I was the last person to see her alive, understandably, they had a lot of questions. I told them everything that happened, minus the whole timer over her head thing, and then I broke down. I tried to save her, as I cried into my hands. "It's all right, son," said the deputy sheriff. "We reviewed the cameras, and even though we couldn't see the compactor directly, we do believe this was just a terrible accident. Call someone if you need to, and head on home." I pulled up to my house. It was dark out now. I looked at my watch, 10 p.m. It had been nearly 5 hours since Kelly's shift ended, along with her life. Ma was already in bed asleep at this hour. I entered the house and stopped in the kitchen. I knew I should eat something. It had been hours since I've had my last meal, but my stomach still felt very queasy. I decided against it and went down to my room in the basement. I kicked off my blood-stained shoes, went into my bathroom, and took a hot shower, hoping I could relax a little and maybe wash away the memories of the day. After my shower, I got into bed, turned off my bedside lamp, and just laid there. "Tom?" Startled, I sat up in bed. Then I saw them, the genie's eyes staring at me from the front of my bed. "You! How's that wish working out for you? You! You tricked me! This wish is horrible! I watched a girl die today because of it!" "Tom, is that what really happened?" "What?" "Tom, we both know what you did. What the hell are you talking about?" "Tom, are we going to pretend you didn't bash her over the head with the 2x4? No, no, I would never." "Tom, so you're saying you didn't toss her tiny body into the compactor and turn it on?" "You're lying. I would never." 2 years, 3 months, 13 days later, I peered into the room from a tiny slit. The closet was cracked open just enough that I could see him. 2 minutes hovered above his head. I held my breath and kept my breathing shallow so he wouldn't hear me. I squeezed my hand tight around the handle of the axe. I slowly slid the closet door open. 1 minute left. Your time is nearly up, Chad.